Disciplinary literacy, collaboration for effective educator development, accountability, and reform by Xavier Diamond. What is disciplinary literacy? It refers to the specialized ways of knowing and communicating the different disciplines to make meaning, according to reference 2. Knowledge of the unique protocols to each discipline encompasses the idea that students need to be taught specialized routines. Historians, scientists, mathematicians, poets, musicians, artists all approach text from unique perspectives in disciplinary literacy, according to reference 4. If you look to the image to the right, it shows a pyramid of disciplinary literacy. The basic step is the bottom step, which is basic literacy. This is usually given in pre-kindergarten through grade 2. This is where literacy skills such as decoding and knowledge of high-frequency words they underlie most reading tasks. The middle post is intermediate literacy, usually in grades 3rd through 5th. In this level, literacy skills common to many tasks, including generic comprehension strategies, common word meaning, and basic fluency. Now, the top level of the pyramid is disciplinary literacy itself, grades 6 through 12. This is where literacy skills specialized to science, math, history, literature, fine arts, or other subject matter appear. What is disciplinary literacy? Disciplinary literacy is not another term for content area reading, a method to work with poor readers, a generalized approach to literacy across disciplines, or limited to study skills. Disciplinary literacy is not. What is content area reading? Content area reading is the reading that a student needs to complete and understand in a particular subject area. The idea to teach students the specialized reading skills required for reading the content areas. Instead of teaching reading with literature, the notion was that literacy should be taught with context text. What is context area reading? Disciplinary literacy versus context area reading. In this diagram, you'll see a comparison through their subject ideal areas of source, nature of skills, the focus, the students, the text, and the role of graphics. In source, disciplinary literacy is a wider range of experts since 1990s. Source for content area reading, reading experts since 1920s. The nature of skills. Disciplinary literacy is specialized. Content area reading is generalized. Focus subject area. Disciplinary literacy is how literacy is used to make meaning within a discipline. In context area reading, use of reading and writing to study and learn information. Students area, it is in disciplinary literacy, whole distribution. In content area reading, students is remedial. Text in disciplinary literacy only focus on disciplinary text. In context area reading, the discipline often encourages uses of literary text. Role of graphics in disciplinary literacy is specific to the discipline. In context area reading is ignored or taught generally. Disciplinary literacy versus content area reading. Importance of disciplinary literacy. To identify specialized reading skills within mathematics, chemistry, and history. To develop instructional materials and strategies linked to those specialized reading skills. To implement those strategies successful in high school and with per-service teacher education candidates, according to reference 1. Importance of disciplinary literacy. In the picture, the image to the right, you'll see disciplinary literacy with the ideals of writing, listening, performing, thinking, speaking, and reading. Importance of disciplinary literacy. Disciplinary literacy in science is techno, abstract, dense, tightly knit language that contrasts with interactive, interpersonal style of the text or ordinary language. Nominalization, turning process into nouns. suppresses agency. Readers need to focus on caution, not intention. Sentence density, unpacking complex nouns. Facts based on evidence, graphics, charts, and formulas. Correlation and transformation. Concepts such as data analysis, hypothesis, observation, and investigation. Disciplinary literacy science. Disciplinary literacy math. Importance of close reading and intense consideration of every word and symbol in the text, according to reference 4. Rereading a major strategy. Heavy emphasis on error detection. Precision of understanding essentials. Search for the truth and errors. Mathematical modeling and problem solving. Interpretation of information presented in unusual ways, according to reference 4. Disciplinary literacy math. Disciplinary literacy history. History is interpretive, and authors and sources are central in interpretation. Importance of authors and sources in interpretation. Consideration of bias and perspective areas essential. Often sings narrative without purpose and argument without explicit claims. Need to see history as argument based on partial evidence. Narratives are more than facts. Single texts are problematic. No correlation. Rhetorical constructions. Contextualization time period. Corroboration or multiple perspectives and documents. Disciplinary literacy history. Disciplinary literacy in the classroom. Teach decoding skills. Establish comprehension strategy according to reference 5. Build vocabulary. Examination of expository text. Disciplinary literacy in the classroom. Quotes about disciplinary literacy. It is said by Sandy Novak, it often works better if you can develop a professional learning community of others that are doing similar work so that you're not working in isolation. It's said by Alvin Toffler, the literate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. It is said by Eric Hoffler, in a time of drastic change, it is the learners who inherit the future. The learned usually find themselves equipped to live in a world that no longer exists. And it's said by Relee Cassette Lent. This is disciplinary literacy, reading, writing, thinking, and doing. Content area by content area. Summation of disciplinary literacy. Disciplinary literacy doesn't just build knowledge, but it actually produces or constructs it. Disciplinary literacy builds secondary students' academic content knowledge and their reading, writing, and thinking skills at the same time. It is based on the premise that students can develop deep conceptual knowledge in a discipline only by using the habits of reading, writing, talking, and thinking which that discipline values and uses. To make disciplinary literacy work, teachers must conduct ongoing formative assessment of each student's understanding, skills, and interests using multiple sources of data to inform instruction and guide students to deeper levels of understanding, according to reference 3. Summation of disciplinary literacy. Works cited page. Reference 1, reference 2, reference 3, reference 4, reference 5. Works cited.